Okay. Hello. Hello, hello. So, this is the first YouTube stream since I got my webcam. So this is your first opportunity to actually see me. Oh, so shy. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I am continuing my journey of exploration, and on this particular journey I started out in this system that I'm in round about noonish, and I was streaming on Twitch until 4, and I got covered the A-star planet, but we've got more to explore, and to be honest the best is yet to come for this system, because we've got a number of planets with life signs, so that'll be fun. So I just want to get my ED market connector sitting on top there. Right, you can't see it, but you don't need to see it. Right, so I've done. See, yeah, I've done A5 here, which is what we're at here. So we'll just head off to B6, where there's good stuff to find, no doubt.
Landing gear retracted.
So, as you might have gathered, I've had a busy week. One of the things that I was doing this last week was making all this lovely overlay, and the starting soon screen and all that other stuff that you saw, making assets for the live streaming. That was one of the things I was doing last week. I was also doing quite a bit of sewing on my top secret elite related sewing project.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Not quite ready to see the light of day yet, because I decided to do a little add-on, shall we say, and make it even more awesome than it already is, which is gonna take time, unfortunately, but so on Friday I was a little bit late with my video publishing, so I just whacked out another one of my long belated Let's Play Skyrim videos, just to make sure I had something going out on the Friday, and then late Saturday night into Sunday morning I managed to finish uploading the actual video, which was a demonstration of all things post update 6. Well, not literally all things, because I'm out in the black. Some things you'd have to go to the bubble for, I guess, but you get to see what the planets look like with the new improvements, which is arguably what most people are most excited for the update 6 changes. Is, does it improve the FPS when we're planet side? Does it make the planets look better? So the answer there, I feel, is, does it make the planets look better? Most of the time, yes. Most of the time. There are still one or two awkward things that I've noticed during this morning's play, and we'll see when we land on some of our planets in today's stream, whether that's going to happen again or not. And I'm still getting the black screen hang when I quit out, Now some people have said, like, if you go instead of go straight quit to desktop, if you quit to menu and then quit to desktop, it won't do that. So we'll try that at the end of this stream. But they said they'd fixed it. And it's very much Millennium Falcon Hyperdrive with that job, I'm afraid. So in terms of getting frame drops, that's still very obvious. Dropping in FPS, going from flying through space like this in Super Cruise to landing on a planet. I'm sure we'd all love to get 60 frames per second running around on a planet surface, but honestly, if I could just get a stable 30, that would be nice. Which I'm still not getting, unfortunately. When you transition to the galaxy map, sometimes I'm still like just sitting and waiting whilst it's at something like an average of 6 frames a second, which is kind of frustrating still to have to put up with that, but so one of the things you will notice post update 6 is when you use the DSS scanner, you will actually get
Surface scanned by 50%.
a proper view of what's going on. Now you can say that and you can't see it here because you can't see which bits are covered for some reason, but it actually wraps around to show which bits you've actually covered, whereas before you'd hit it and it would look like it was only covering the front part, even though it said like 80% covered, and you would see just like a circle on the front with edges which would make it look like it was covering less than 50%, whereas now it wraps around to properly represent which part's covered. Just that should finish us off. Right, now then, B6 is landable.
Surface scan complete.
Okay, this is not one of the planets that's got any life or geological on it, but like I said, we've got a number with life on, including one with 6 different biologicals on. Looking forward to that.
Orbital flight engaged.
It's looking very bumpy. Reminds me of you know, when you get those little mosaic paths that are made out of little pebbles. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, so we've got some sort of more regular looking mountains over here, and then those sort of large mesas with canyon type mountains over there. What's going on? Ah, no, I think we've got a Movada. Had this last time, the first planet that I came down to land at, come out of glide, and then it hangs, and then I get a Movada. Always the first one. It's always the first planet that I come out of glide and get a Movada. Don't know if we're going to get it or not, but I just got a feeling, because it's just hung completely here. What are you like? Ooh. Looks like we haven't got the Movada after all. Well, that's good news. That's good news. So I hate that, because when you come back in, you're like 20 kilometres up, and it. Alright. It's fairly low gravity, so I'm not too concerned about coming in this hot. Famous last words. Just trying to find somewhere to land, really, somewhere flat enough. I think over here looks a little bit flatter, doesn't it?
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Right. Let's hop out then. I'm gonna put the frames on here. You can probably just make them out through the banner at the bottom, because it's slightly transparent, so you should be able to see them there. So for some reason, when we're black screened like this, the FPS drops down to 20 or below, which doesn't make any sense at all. We'll just have a look here at my so the GPU is being fully utilised. It's 99% and 75 degrees C, which is slightly worryingly hot. CPU is running about 60%, and as you can see, I've got about 25 frames a second. You might be wondering, yes, but what are your graphics settings? I will show you in a sec, but first, observe the terrain. It's looking good, right? Looking nice. Let's not forget that the GPU is not just rendering the game; it's also providing the stream. So, although 8% of it's encoding video, so still most of it's providing this planet. So yeah, so some of these mountains look okay. Like those ones over there look okay, and then those ones kind of look a bit ridiculous, don't they? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the way they look, especially the shadows on them and everything, doesn't look particularly good. Certainly just over there, like with that, the sharp corners on them and everything, they look pretty silly, really. But then those ones look lovely. So those ones over there look alright as well. We haven't got the I mean, there's some proper terrain here with bumps and all that. One of the problems that I had earlier this morning was one of the places I landed, it was reasonably flat, but it appeared to have texture, except that it didn't really appear to have the texture, because what it looked like was like somebody had taken a photograph of something with texture and like used it to make some kind of vinyl floor tiles that you might put in your kitchen. You know what I mean? It was like a photograph on the ground rather than actually feeling like it was anything. So let's have a look. So this is the graphic settings. I haven't messed with them since everything sort of rejiggered itself after the update, and after I also have a clean install of the latest graphics drivers as well. So this is what the game decides that I needed my settings to be at. So I'm on higher quality. The texture quality is at high. This upscaling AMD FSR 1. That's one of the new things. So upscaling type when super sampling factor is set to lower than 1. So normal, use the built-in upscaler. AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 1.0 is a cutting-edge, super optimized spatial upscaling technology that produces impressive image quality at fast frame rates. Selecting this in conjunction with SMAA as anti-aliasing option for best possible visual quality. So we've got the SMAA, and this AMD FSR is obviously what's being used for the upscaling. So those are the settings that I've got. I haven't changed anything, so I can just go back. But you think even on these menus, why is it showing 22 frames per second? And why am I still using like 99% of my GPU if I'm in the menus? Tell me that. That's a new thing. So you see your suit energy when you get into the column to enter the ship. That's in addition to being able to see at the bottom left hand corner there. Right, oh I think that's B6 done. So we'll give B4 a go.
Landing gear retracted.
Oh,
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
and as usual when you're facing into space it's back to 60 frames a second again. And my GPU usage is coming down. Hopefully the temperature will come down as well, because I was up to 79 degrees, so that's kind of dangerous. I'm down to about 75% GPU usage. I'm a bit concerned about the temperature of my GPU. Maybe I ought to turn the settings down just to predict it. No, I don't. I'll put them down to mid, which is a shame because I prefer them on high, but it's not worth destroying my computer, is it? Okay, so the GPU usage has dropped to 64% and the temperature is coming down into the high 70s. Where did that probe go? There we go.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Right, so that's the far side. You can see it's really just the very last bit. Oops. Oh yeah. Hopefully that'll. Don't want to go right past it.
Surface scan
There we
complete.
go. So we'll come on and do a landing here. Some interesting colours. You see, this is something that was improving
Flight engaged.
when I was playing at high, but now that I'm playing at mid, it's even more obviously pixelated when you get close to it. It's sort of a bit of a lag on it, hopping up to the next level of detail. But when it does, it doesn't just suddenly apply it all over, it like propagates like a wave. I'm going to land on this interesting looking green patch here. This is a high metal content world. You can see there's some proper canyons in these planets and everything now. So green mountains, eh? That's kind of new. Don't think I've ever landed anywhere with green mountains before. Maybe a lot of copper deposits. That's what it's looking like to me. And the GPU is back up to using between 97 and 100%. Temperature wise, we're at 79 degrees centigrade. Even though we had to drop down to mid, it still looks pretty good. It's acceptable. I'd prefer to play it high, but it's no. It's cooking the PC to play it high, so I was playing it high all morning before when I was streaming to Twitch. So. But I didn't have Task Manager open then, so I couldn't see how hot everything was. Yeah, what you don't see doesn't bother you. Just sort this out for a second here. That's better. keep an eye on both things at once now. Right. Let's hop out. Oh dear me. That's something else I wanted to do. There we go. I've got the stream set up so that it only broadcasts 30 frames a second anyway, which is necessary in order to prevent lagged and skipped frames and what have you. Okay. Doesn't look quite as green, I was going to say, and then realised I was looking the wrong direction. Haha! Yeah, now it still looks pretty green. Interesting, isn't it? Green mountains. I name this land Geckonia. Okay. So B4. Just make a note. Wait a minute, I haven't even taken a screenshot. How could I arrive somewhere that looks this unique and not take a screenshot? Right. Let's see from which angle does it look most impressive. I quite like that because you see the yellow ones in the distance and the sort of greyer ones closer to. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, hold on a second. Maybe I want to get rid of the old. Yep. There we go. Let's have another go, but without the FPS tracker. Alright. Okay. B1 next.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I'm pretty pleased with those green mountains. Gives one hope for other interesting sights one might see after all those rather dull looking planets after Odyssey dropped. It's nice to see things looking a bit more differentiated and with some interest to them, you know. So I think most of the planets with the actual life on were the ones in orbit around the sea star. But I do think... Oops. Thought I'd throttled down in time, but apparently I hadn't. Because there was a bit of a stick there. Just having these frame rate drops. That's somewhat annoying. Got B1 there, and then what's that up there? Probably B2. Yep, B2. Pardon me.
Surface scanned by 50%.
I just realised I made Streamlabs a bit too small, so I can't see the chat. There we go. Nope, no one said anything in the chat yet. At least I can see it now. Trying to get everything the right size. Right.
Surface scan complete.
This one's also looking kind of green.
Orbital flight engaged.
But if anything, this one looks even more green because it's like solid green and then a yellowy green. It's a sort of a mixed green. That looks quite like quite a raised lump over there. like a sort of a planetary wart. Look at that. What are those things over there? Aren't we a bit high to be able to see rocks? Everything's so green you could almost imagine it being covered in some kind of carpet of vegetation or something, but it isn't. There's no biological anything here. But it's very easy to imagine that's what the green colour is, isn't it? See what these dark coloured lumps are. They're just going to be rocks, but they're the nearest point of interest, so just flying towards them. I mean, they must be quite large rocks if I could see them from that far away, right? Slow right down. I'll take a photograph from here, I think. There we go. Cool. Right. Let's get on with landing. Hey! All of a sudden everything went a lot less green. Did you see that? It's like the saturation just suddenly turned off. What's up with that? I know the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, but that was a bit literal, wasn't it? I'm glad I got that picture before it changed, to be honest. So, some of these rocks are a bit bigger than the typical. That little cue in the music I'm listening to will do for instead of the usual musical cue you get for first footfall. It's almost the same. Right. Well. A blanket of green that's more saturated the further away you are. So you can look for the nice picnic spot where everywhere looks great from a long way away, and then when you get there it looks rubbish. At least there are no cowpats on this planet. Now you get that, don't you? Eh? It's like, oh, let's have the picnic over there. There are no cowpats and thistles, and it's all lovely and lush and green. And you go over there, like, but now it's all covered in cowpats and thistles, and it doesn't look any good at all. But look over there. There are no cowpats or thistles over there. Let's put the picnic blanket down over there. Grass is always greener. There is a scientific explanation for that, of course. It's all to do with the angle that you're looking at it. Right. Okay, well that was B1. Well, let's do B2.
Landing gear retracted.
Just about to see a solar flare there. It's a bit like a sparkler from the 5th of November to me from here. Anyway,
Frameshift drive charging.
tell me it went to Super Cruise, isn't it?
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Samba. Oh. This one's not green. This one's sort of white with a bit of crimson. J.J. Abrams must have designed this planet.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like I've covered the whole thing. I wish it wouldn't go fuzzy at the edges like that. Ah, this is the one with the geology. Right, so we've got lava spouts, fumaroles and vents, and we're going to go and scan one of each kind. Looks kind of crazy with the blue laid over the top of all the sort of rust red and the white, doesn't it? I quite like that colour scheme actually. That looks like a promising spot up there.
Orbital flight engaged.
Well, looks like we've got a lot of canyons. It's almost like one of those fungi where it sort of grows up and then it gets sort of like cracks in its surface, you know what I mean? Canyons aren't quite deep enough to look like a brain, but if it did, I mean, if it was deeper it would look like a brain. I think we might find what we're looking for down here. You get to keep the heat map during the glide now, and then it, as you finish your glide, it disappears off, which is good. question is, do we want to land in a canyon and look for geo and the canyon, or do we want to land on the top and look for the geology at the top? I'm of a mind to land in a canyon floor, get the SLV out and go looking around on the bases of the canyons. The only downside to that is if I get too far from the ship and it dismisses itself, calling it back in could be awkward, because when I call it back in it might get called back in on the top of a bluff and I might not be able to get back up to it. But there seem to be some wide open areas that one might be able to call the ship in at, and it would actually land somewhere near you, not in an inaccessible position, so I will live in hope. It's a bit disconcerting the way these colours and textures like just completely change as you approach them. Right, come on, landing gear. Definitely, it's easier to find the geology in the SLV because you've got the benefit of the radar. So we'll just get in the SLV and go hunting for our 3 kinds of geology.
Drive assist on. Low gravity warning.
Oh,
Drive assist off.
this is my first time out in the SLV, so I need to turn the drive assist off. Right, so the question is, where's the geology? Well, I mean, you know, these are imposing looking. I think they must have done a great deal to get the Planet Tech working the way they intended. Now there are a lot more of these proper canyons and stuff. I mean, you used to get it sometimes, but then you'd also get planets where the planet had basically broken in some way. And there were more of the broken ones than there were of the ones that had worked properly. But I think maybe that's been fixed now. It's early days to say, but just based on one or 2 days of playing, that's just the ship. But maybe there's something over here. These are very faint signals. They're probably the other side of these impassable. We'll just keep driving through the canyons, I suppose, until we find something. Look up there, you can see that green planet we just came from. Aha, now this might be something. Not spotting any white spots on the mini map yet, but at least we've got something solid on the radar, or the sonar really, isn't it? Ah! And there are the white spots. So we've got geological formations, not just Brunsite chondrites and things like that. Right, so... oh yeah, there's loads of it over here. Loads of it there is. It's like one of the old-fashioned geology sites, where you'd find them all clumped together. Right, okay. And I get my codex discovery for the first one in this system. Note that. Anyway, right, let's give this a go. Wait a minute. Shouldn't it tell me what it was that I found? Silicate vapor gas vents. Thank you, ED Market Connector. Right. A lot of Pisces cobbles around it, but that was just iron we got off the crystalline fragments. Sadly. So, need to find the rest of the geology formations here, which we won't get any codex credits for. Unless... no, they wouldn't have fixed that, would they? Or would they? Maybe. Well, that looks like a fumarole, so... and that over there certainly looks like a fumarole, but I think this is as well. Sulfur dioxide fumarole, yes, but no more. No more codex credits. So, what did we actually get there? Or iron. Right, so far we found... what did we find so far? Yeah, we found the silicate vapor gas vent and the sulfur dioxide fumarole. So we just need the spout next, lava spout somewhere. Most of these things look like fumaroles. Nickel. Should be getting better things off crystalline shards. Really, I should. Just double check this. Pretty sure it's a fumarole. Yes, yes it is. I just need a lava spout. That's still a vent. Zinc. I think we're full on zinc. Ooh. Is that something? That looks like something, doesn't it? Let me get out and look at it in person. Maybe if I get up into the turret. No, that's not right. All the same, at least we can disembark. Sometimes in geological sites it's too hot. Yeah, that definitely looks. Look, it's all glowing in red. Don't tell me that's not a lava spout. That totally looks like a lava spout. I'm gonna drive around this side of it and try scanning it. I'm not gonna try stepping on it either. I may be curious, but I'm not an idiot. Right. I say that you are a lava spout and I claim my 2,500 credits. Yeah, it still doesn't give me the 2,500 credits, but I was really just doing that thing where somebody says you're such and such a person and I claim my £50. It was like a newspaper competition that they did sometime in the 1920s or 30s, I think it was. Anyway, point is, I've ticked off all 3 types of geology that exist on this planet, so I can head back to the ship. It's been a nostalgic trip down here. You know, I remember my long exploration trip before where I was landing on everything that had a geosite, and the geosites were often in these deep canyons. There's another one glowing away there. Just on the off chance. Pisces cobble, what do you have? Pisces cobble, what do you have? Iron. Just iron. Crystalline cluster. Well, what do you have? Iron. Just iron. Yeah, nickel and iron and iron and nickel and iron and nickel and iron. Oh. Why would you find anything else? Oh, there was some zinc as well. Let's not forget the zinc. Oops. I didn't even have to go so far away that the ship had to dismiss itself, which is good. Get on board alright. Well, we can. Underside's starting to look a little bit scratched up, but all things told, the paint on the ship's holding up very well. Right. So did 1, did 2, did B... We haven't done B3 yet. I'm just going to go straight up here because I want to see when I get level with the tops of this top of the canyon. Okay, so just under 1 kilometre high. Okay.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Right. Wait a minute. That one. Where's B? So that was B2 we were just at. We haven't done B3, we really haven't. Okay. I'm not sure that we're gonna even finish all the stuff that's around the B star in this stream, because I actually want to finish around about 8 today, so I can go off and have my tea.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Yep, that's B3 done, because that's not a landable. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. I don't think we've done 5. We haven't done 7 and 8. Let's do 5 then. So let me know what you think of the music in the comments. This isn't particularly my own specific choice of music. I'm using the soundtracks app, which technically you're just supposed to use with Twitch. But you know, if it's music where the rights are permitted for streaming, then I don't think these people are going to complain about me using it on a YouTube stream. This one's called Exploration, this playlist, so figured it might be a good fit. I was listening to some techno earlier on today, but for some reason I just feel like YouTube is a more laid back vibe than Twitch. Besides which, you know, it's a different time of day and all that, so. But if you don't like it and you prefer me to do the streams without any music that you guys can hear, I can't promise that I'll just play in silence or anything, but anyway, I want to make it something that people are enjoying listening to and watching, so feel free to include feedback and suggestions. I'm not in any way obliged to take all the advice, but I would like to do what I can to improve and make things better for you as viewers, so
Surface scanned by 50%.
yeah, that sort of doesn't really do it, does it? I want a hard edge to show where it's scanned to, not that sort of fade into the middle. Like, still, it's an improvement on the way it used to look, which was kind of confusing, really.
Surface scan complete.
Right, we can land on this one. Do the usual, and I think that will be the last visit for the stream today. I'll stay landed on that B5 moon while I go have some tea or supper or whatever you wish to call an evening meal eaten at 8. You might call it dinner. I feel like that makes it sound posher than it really is, because it's leftovers from yesterday. Very good leftovers, mind you. It's Shabbos food. Quite pretty, isn't it, with the starburst from the impact crater there.
Orbital flight engaged.
Some interesting looking red patches. What do you think the red patches are? I hope they're not like magma fields. If they are, I'll just have to get back up and fly off of them again. Just want to be able to get out and do the walkabout. I mean, there might just be red coloured rock. Doesn't need to be anything that's glowing. It's hard to tell from here though, what with it looking so incredibly pixelated. Looks like retro gaming from here. Right. Yeah, that's not lava, that's just pinkness. Kinda interesting though. There's a nice flat area down there. So, do we think this rather vivid rose pink colour is going to become that much duller grey pink when we get closer to it? Bets on. I think it is. I think it's going to go dull when we get closer to it. Yeah, see, I was right. Shame. Might just be the angle of the light though.
Landing gear deployed.
But whatever the reason, it did that thing. Changed from a vivid rosy rose pink to kind of rose ashes. Again, I think we've got that thing where it's not as obvious because the ground here is not so flat, but where it looks like there's texture but actually it's just the photograph of some texture. As long as it's not really obvious, it's not an issue, but when it's the ground's really flat, it really is obvious. The rose-coloured hills. Yeah, Maccabee's still looking pretty shite. Very scuffed at the bottom from all the landings. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. We saw some interesting places, didn't we? Green mountains, pink hills, a nice set of canyons with some proper geological sites with a whole bunch of them all together like that, all three types within close proximity, like the good old days. I mean, you know, I don't mind it if they're not marked on as points of interest and stuff like they used to be. I'm happy as long as it's not a case of like hunt the needle in the haystack. So that was quite good. So things are shaping up. I think things are shaping up. Like a lot of people have said, update 6 isn't like the everything's fixed update. It's, you know, it's not the end of the end. I wouldn't even go as far as to say it's the end of the beginning of fixing Elite Dangerous Odyssey, but it's certainly a very positive step. Something to you know, keep one's hope alive. I'm certainly enjoying the game a lot better with the improvements that have been made with update 6, I have to say. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider basically subscribing to the channel and hitting the notifications bell so that you know when I'm posting videos and doing live streams. And consider giving some of the other channels that you see below the Twitter and the Instagram and the Twitch and all of that, where there's more stuff that I'm producing. And the Instagram's my business Instagram actually, so you can see the stuff that I make. Because I've got an Etsy shop and a local art and craft online shop as well, where I sell the things that I make. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, 7 and all of that. I'm going to try this exit to main menu and then quit to desktop trick, see whether that improves the whole quitting. Right, let's see how many minutes this takes. Hey, that was alright. That was only about 1 minute. Okay, till next time.